Being nervous isn't bad, it just means something important is happening. Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is Victor, your dating trainer, and we're going to talk about being nervous. Yes, as I said before, we've already spoke about who are you, and we figured out that you're nervous. You get nervous all the time, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. As I said before, when you're nervous, you could approach somebody, you could talk to somebody, and you like to be outside, or you could be outside. And it's not as bad as it's not being shy, and it's not being an introvert. But when you are about to talk to somebody, you get tongue tied, or your brain just starts going a mile a minute. Thousands of questions or thousands of thoughts just kind of accumulate in your brain, and they want to come out at the same time, which is the problem for a nervous person. Suddenly you tell that person an awkward joke or something like an anecdote, but it's not the anecdote for the time. It's something that you tell your best friend. And sometimes even your best friend's like, yo, buddy, what the hell? Like, don't tell me that. But even then, we're gonna talk about this and how you could actually become less nervous. Okay, so just embark with me on this journey right now on how not to be nervous. Remember, when you're nervous, most of the time you will get tongue tied when you see somebody that you like. You could talk to them, but you don't remember what you said to that person, and you always wonder why. Or you do know what you said to that person, but you always kind of say, when you say it, you're like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. It always happens when you're nervous. So before you actually go and talk to somebody, think about what you're going to say. Avoid thinking too much. You have a million thoughts racing, you have a thousand thoughts that you want to say. Try picking one. Usually, hi, how are you? Or if you want to be funny, top of the morning or tip of a cap to you, but leave it at that. Don't say, oh, like when I was in high school, I remember that blah, 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 blah. And then, like, all of a sudden, it took a turn for the worse. Now, or you might freeze altogether. And a lot of nervous people, when they actually see something or somebody that they want to talk to, they freeze. That's something that we gotta avoid. As I said, a million thoughts come racing to your brain. Your brain just says, forget it. I'm gonna stop right now, assess the situation, and then don't move until that situation is out of the picture. It's not a problem. It's actually like cute or funny to see because it's something that you're like, oh, like I gotta do this. I gotta like muster the courage. I'm gonna go to it and I'm gonna deal with it. But as soon as you're there, you're just like, and then the person's like, hi, and then you're like, makes it completely awkward, and then you just move from that path. Try not to think too much as a nervous person, but try to think about what you're gonna say before you actually like go out. For example, look at yourself in the mirror, or even have like a lot of people have now. It's like little clipboards or like drawings in on the walls in your house and everything, and like say like today I'm just gonna say hi to a person. I'm not gonna like say anything else. Try to like less is more, right? Like you don't want to go and start telling people, oh, like like I remember when I was like 3 years old. Like no, because usually like those thoughts are just embarrassing and awkward, and you don't want to make an awkward mess out of yourself, right? So don't open up too much and tell too many details. Like I said, like don't linger too much in it. Try to simplify. Simplify actually is better. When you simplify things, it actually like makes better topics of conversation. And you have a million of them. Just try to categorize them. Okay, what do I say to the first person or the person the first time? How can I get their attention without making it awkward? Try to storytell without telling the most embarrassing things that have happened to you along your life. Try just telling them a certain amount of your life, but like for example, I remember one time I did a race, a marathon, or I just ran for 10 kilometers, and I came in last. And they're gonna be like, oh, it's okay, don't worry, it happens to people. It's like, yeah, well, you know what, better luck next time. That's it. Leave it at that. Nice to meet you. Have yourself a wonderful day. Boom, move on. Now, awkward in social settings. A lot of nervous people get awkward in social settings. By this, I mean when you're exposed to too much things, like you get into like overdrive, and somebody comes and like says one thing to you, your brain starts going on to like that one particular thing, and like you try to like diffuse situations because you're so nervous. You start sweating, you start perspiring and everything. Like you see, like, oh my god, like this guy, why are you turning so red? Or why, like this girl, why are you like starting to like sweat so much that you can't do anything? Your brain just keeps going on and on and on, and then you get more nervous, and then like it keeps on piling up and piling up and piling up until awkwardness just tries to diffuse situations. You can't do that. We'll talk more into how to deal and relax that state of mind in later comments or later episodes. So embark on this journey with me, as I've said before. And if you like what I've been saying, push the like button, subscribe, and comment. Your comments are more than welcome. Whether they're good or whether they're bad, I'm gonna listen regardless. So let me know what you think, and have yourself a wonderful evening.